Hey there, it's February 10th, 2010. This is entry number 5. That's coincidentally my lucky number, but that's not important. Let's go. Alright, I said I was going to do a video of like a compilation of smaller questions that I've been jotting down throughout the day in my writer's notebook. But I don't think there's enough of them yet for a full video, and I didn't really want to make a 3-minute video and then have to make another one later of just mini questions, so I'm going to save that for later. But what I wanted to do was share my thoughts on what is and isn't a sport and my perception of various sports today, because I was thinking about that as I was reading the sports section today. So, before I say this, if any of you play the sports that I mention or sports that I say aren't sports, please don't be offended by what I say or don't say about your sport. Feel free to argue with me, as this is just my ideas, but I do believe them. So anyway, I'm going to start off with what I don't consider to be a sport. I don't consider golf to be a sport, mainly because while it does require a degree of physical conditioning, I don't think it requires the same degree as some other sports. For instance, sports such as gymnastics and figure skating, I actually do consider those sports because they really require an incredible amount of physical strength, endurance, finesse, something that's really got to be practiced. And now, let me just say, you see 70-year-old guys going out and playing golf. When's the last time you saw a 70-year-old guy do a double back handspring? Doesn't really happen. And that's sort of what I think about that. Now, I consider competition diving a sport. I consider gymnastics a sport. I consider, what was the third one I said? Oh my gosh, figure skating to be a sport. Now, not leisure skating. I'm talking competition, you know, routines, spins, jumps, everything. Now, cheerleading. Highly controversial subject. I believe that while, football cheerleading with or hockey cheerleading with the pom-poms and the rah-rahs, I don't really believe that's a sport. I think that's, I don't know, either a hobby or I'm not sure quite how to describe it. However, competition cheerleading, I do believe that's a sport because, again, it's basically gymnastics with a lot of coordination of many people all at once. And I believe that, you see competition cheerleaders, they're practicing every day, they're practicing tumbling, so that does require a lot of skill, a lot of practice, a lot of strength. One of the main things that I think goes into my decision about other types of cheerleading is the fact that I see cheerleading teams for other sports practicing, twice a week. I don't see how you can really be considered a sport and say that to be proficient at your sport you only have to practice twice a week. That really seems like a hobby to me. Now on to more of your mainstream sports like baseball, football, basketball. I won't go as far as to say that none of those are sports, but you do have to consider that they're all games. Football is a game, basketball is a game, baseball is a game, soccer is a game, field hockey is a game, lacrosse is a game. Everything like that is a game. Sports I really have a lot of respect for, and this is biased because I am a runner, but I have a strong respect for wrestling. I have a strong respect for swimming. I have a strong respect for crew, and I have a strong respect for running. I also do have a very strong respect for figure skating, diving, and gymnastics. A lot of that comes from the fact that it's an individual sport. Then again, tennis is an individual sport, but it's an individual sport in which, in most cases, the more you work at it, the more you're going to get out of it. And while I love playing and watching football, basketball, well, I play wiffle ball, but I love watching baseball. I think those are sports, but you have to consider that there are timeouts, there are substitutions. In swimming, in running, in wrestling, there are no timeouts, there are no substitutions. It's you and either your opponent or the clock, and it's how hard you want to work and how much you want it. And people are going to say, yeah, that applies to basketball and football too. I say yes, but not in the same way. Now let me ask you this. When a football player or a basketball player is out on injury and misses, say, a month of the season, the fact that the team will take him back and put him back in the starting lineup the day he can physically perform at that level, that says something to me about the sport. For instance, I'm not happy about this, but I just missed a week of running, and because of that, it basically ended my season, because running is something that really depends on a laid out season plan of getting in shape, staying in shape, and peaking your performance. And when there's a sport that will put an injured player or a recently injured player back in the lineup, that says to me that it's more about the skill than the hard work. And you know me from my past entries, I'm a supporter of hard work over talent and skill. Anyway, that is basically my opinion. I don't think there's anything else I have to say other than the fact that I still respect all the other sports. I just think that when it's an individual contest, you really are pushed in a way that a team contest can't really simulate. In running, it's you and the pain and how much you want to push through. Now, football guys will say, oh, you're in pain in football, you're getting hit by 250-pound guys. I realize that. But it's a different kind of pain in running. So that's basically it. Alright, I will see you next time.